I'm King 5 Kraken producer Brianna Vasquez. On Tuesday, the Kraken introduced new general manager Jason Botterill. Now we're getting to know the man in charge. Paul Silvi sat down with Botterill to talk all about his new role, plans for hiring a new head coach, and the long hockey history in his family.
Well, it's great to chat with you, Jason, especially with the big announcement and everything and taking over as the general manager. But in all of your experience with Pittsburgh and with Buffalo, and now you have this chance here with the Kraken, what's the biggest thing you think you've learned over those times?
Well, I think you've just been able to have a lot of different experiences, right? I've been able to have the opportunity to win 3 Stanley Cups, but I've also been in an opportunity where I had to feel the pressure of drafting first overall pick in the NHL draft. So to have that gamut of sort of everything that sort of happened in the game, I think is something that has given me a lot of experience and a lot of confidence when I sit in the chair that, hey, whatever comes up in the day, I can sort of handle the situation. But I think just a big strength for the situation we're having here right now in Seattle is just my comfort level with the organization. Being a part of it from the start, I know the players, I know the staff, so I understand what they can accomplish and what they can do. So then I can focus on sort of the NHL team here right now with Ron and make some adjustments from that standpoint.
Yeah, I was going to ask you what you think your strengths are, because a lot of times we talk to athletes and say, hey, what are you bringing to the table? Yep. And you're saying basically that comfort level is a big strength for you.
Yeah, and I think just over the years, I think my managerial style, I think most people who have worked with me think I'm pretty good at communication, good at collaboration. I trust my staff. At the end of the day, it's just impossible to be an expert in all areas. Player development, amateur scouting, pro scouting, you're going to have opinion, but you have to trust the people that you hire in those positions there. But I think just being a part of the league for so long, I was fortunate enough to be a part of the ratio tree sort of in Pittsburgh there, and a lot of those people that have gone on to be general managers and on other teams here right now, and just having those connections and having those interactions will allow me to hopefully get information and get possibly move forward with some trades and acquisitions throughout the summer.
Okay, let's talk about your playing days. Your first-round draft pick of the Dallas Stars, 20th overall, and you spent time in the NHL and the AHL all these years. Yep. How does being a former player at different levels help you do this job?
Well, I think it was a situation where I had a lot of success as an amateur player. I felt very honored to be able to play in the National Hockey League, but I probably didn't achieve all my goals of being an NHL player. And I think it just gave me a respect for how difficult it is to make that jump from the minors to the National Hockey League and be, a real star at the National Hockey League level. And I also think I gained a respect for the American Hockey League and how challenging that league really is. And over the years, I've tried to help out a lot of these players. And that's sort of the next step for a lot of our young players in the organization. We have a lot of talent down in Coachella Valley right now. A lot of hope for some of these players, but it is difficult for them to make that next jump up to the National Hockey League. And having conversations with them, understanding sometimes it's not even on the performance, it's from the mental aspect of the game to help them sort of make that next jump up to the next level. I think I've been able to, through my own personal experiences, help them out a little bit from that aspect and allow them to hopefully help out the Kraken here in the near future.
All right, before we get into more about the players, let's talk about right at the top there in the head coaching vacancy. Yep. What are you looking for in a head coach? And there's got to be some qualities that stand out for you.
Yeah, look, I think a lot goes into it. I think there's a lot of different coaches out there that have had different types of success, and it's part of the opportunity here that we're looking forward to sit down and talking to some of these candidates to sort of see what's the best fit for our organization. But you look at what we have at our disposal here, whether it's our R&D department, our player development department, our the information we're getting from our coaches in Coachella Valley. I think it's important that the coach here has an ability to take all that information in to make the best lineup possible for the Seattle Kraken. So you want someone down here who is going to be the CEO of the group. And as I mentioned yesterday in the press conference, I think our strengths as an organization is the speed that we play at. I think there's things that we have to work on from being a little bit stronger in front of the net in both the defensive and offensive zone. But we're looking for a coach that's going to utilize those attributes and help build some of our young players up over the next couple of years here.
Okay, how important is it for this next head coach to have NHL head coaching experience?
It's certainly an attribute that you like to have. Hey, I myself, being in the National Hockey League for a while, experienced both at the GM and assistant GM position. I think over the years, I'm a better candidate now and to have success in the National Hockey League than I was a few years ago. But it's not the only attribute we're going to look at. To me, it's just about how are you learning from your different experiences, whether it's in the National Hockey League or junior or college or American Hockey League. You're looking for a coach who has had success but also has had failures, and how are they going to respond from those failures.
All right, I've been a big fan of the Frozen Four over the years and watch these top coaches at the college level. Yep. Are you is there a chance that you guys would dip into the college level for this coaching job?
I think it's something we'll certainly look at. There's some very high-end candidates out there. Personally, I'm obviously played NCAA hockey, huge proponent of the style of play in NCAA hockey. You just look at a player like Matty Beniers in our lineup, the pace and intensity that is played at the college game. I think it prepared him to make a smooth adjustment and a transition to the National Hockey League there. So have a lot of respect for the NCAA game, and some of the coaches there, we'll certainly look at them to see if there's a fit here with the Kraken.
As we wrap up the coaching deal, do you have a short list? Like, how soon would you like to have this done?
Look, you certainly always want someone to be a part of it, to begin that process of relationship building within our organization. But I think the most important thing is that we get the right person to come in here and stuff. So Ron and myself have obviously started putting a list together, started to reach out to candidates, and we'll begin those discussions on a shared time frame. It's still something we're working on, but we're certainly excited about having those discussions and look forward to finding the right person.
Okay, talk about the players. The top priority for you going into the offseason when it comes to getting an influx of talent. Where would be the focus right out of the gate?
Well, look, where we ended up in the standings, I think there's always a situation where you have to continue to look at all our areas of our team. We're not just this one player away from, winning the Stanley Cup. We have to continue to, I think, just add to our overall skill level. If there's a dynamic that I think that we do have to just adjust a little bit, it's our forward group. Whether that's bringing in some players with NHL experience, we'll certainly look at that. But I think what we're really excited about is just this internal sort of competitions that's coming with some of our younger players coming up from Coachella Valley. And they're not all the same player. There's some physical players like a Melanson or a Villeneuve that can bring sort of a physical edge. You have a player like Molgard who is a very good two-way player right off the bat. And then obviously some of our fans saw this year Newman come up there and be sort of a power play guy. So having that internal competition, some of these young guys coming up is great. It's also the discussion we had with a player like Matty Beniers and Shane Wright. It was great that they had a full year in the National Hockey League and having success there, but we still think there's lots of room for growth and development from them. So looking forward to, helping them. They're both very motivated young men that want to have success here in Seattle, and we'll keep working with them in the off season and helping them prepare their game to maybe take the next level next year at the National Hockey League level here.
When you look at this, is there an advantage maybe of taking a college player who might be a little bit more NHL ready? He's got more seasoning, a few more years under his belt, over taking a high school kid in junior hockey?
It's always a challenge. I think you're always looking at different scenarios, whether, a player that's played in the NCAA or a player that's played over in Europe in the men's league, are they better to step into the National Hockey League at a quicker rate? You look at those different things, and we'll certainly bring that into the equation a little bit. But I think we've always looked at it taking the best player from a projection standpoint. Where are they going to be when they're 24, 25 years old? And you just look at our draft record, especially we've believed in building through the center, whether it's Beniers, Wright, Catton. We've tried to look at centermen a lot and stuff from that perspective. It's where we go. But to me, it's important. As much as we want to win right now and have success right now, it's looking longer term on these draft choices, on getting the best player from a projection standpoint.
Yeah, well, I know fans are looking forward to seeing the improvement and the changes you make and bringing in the players of free agency and who you're going to draft. Lots of exciting things this summer. You come from a big hockey family, a big athletic family. Your sister Jennifer played for the Canadian national team for 14 years. She's the first female hockey player in the Manitoba Sports Hall of Fame, which is really cool and a sense of pride for you. Your mom's in that Manitoba Sports Hall of Fame as a speed skater in the Olympics in the 60s. So that's all really cool stuff. Do you ever feel like, there's one, there's two, and then there's Jason?
Well, it's crazy because if you ask a lot of scouts, that I didn't play more NHL hockey games because I couldn't skate fast enough, which is interesting, seeing as my mom was an Olympic speed skater. So how did that not transfer over and stuff from that standpoint? But no, we're obviously very proud of my sister Jennifer. She had a great career and has now moved on into the media industry too. And no, I think she's done a great job of learning the National Hockey League, learning her, just the same work that she had as a player. She's now done that from a media standpoint of, her presentation skills and understanding that industry. So back in the day, we had some good battles in her basement. She would just take slap shots at me while I was in net and stuff for sure. So there was always a little bit of a competitive rivalry there for sure. So very, very proud of my family.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that because there's only a few years between you two. So I would imagine growing up, there was a little bit of back and forth, huh?
Well, she was 3 years younger than me, and so it was always a situation where she never thought she could do any harm to me at all, right? So no concern about my safety at all, for sure.
Well, and lastly, because of so much success with women in hockey, and now we're seeing the professional women's hockey league expanding, and you have Jessica Campbell on yours as assistant coach that you guys have retained. Are we going to see more and more women? You think qualified women in the NHL as these women are pioneers?
Oh, without a doubt. You just see it in different areas, and I have 2 daughters myself, and just being able to take them to some of these games and see a building full of 14 or 15,000 people cheering on women on the ice and stuff. I think it's empowering, and it's very motivational for them all and stuff too. But you look in our organization, the angles, the work ethic, the knowledge that Jess Campbell, but Namita or Alex in our front office bring to it. Like there's Caitlin Parker on the development side. Like there's different avenues and different perspectives that I think are very helpful, and I think that's what Ron has tried to do from the get-go here is bring people in together in a collaborative model to try to get the best ideas and to make the best decision. And that's what I just like coming into work here and stuff. There's people with different backgrounds, different perspectives on things, and it ultimately, I think, makes for some good decision making.
Yeah, well, you got a lot of decisions to make in the next several months for sure. So we appreciate you sitting down with us and looking forward to more in the future.
Thank you very much for having me.